Hi, do you love applesauce, but you're trying to eat less processed food? Hi, I'm Shelby. I'm a pods leader in Richmond, Virginia, and today I'm going to show you how to make homemade applesauce in your slow cooker. So let's talk about the ingredients that you're going to need. The first thing, obviously, is your apples. You'll want a firm, crisp apple. So Honey Crisp is a good choice. It is nice and firm and crisp, and these are the ones that are available to us locally. You could also use Granny Smith. That's a nice, firm, crisp apple as well, and they're pretty much available in any grocery store you go into. And you can use a combination. I'm going to use both in my applesauce today. So apples, you'll need 6 or 7 apples, depending on how large they are, which is roughly 3 or 4 pounds. So that's what you'll need. The second thing you'll need is a little fresh lemon juice. I'm going to squeeze about a tablespoon of lemon into the crock pot and use that. So that's the second ingredient. Third ingredient is just a little bit of water, quarter cup. And I am going to make cinnamon flavored applesauce today. So I'm going to throw a cinnamon stick into mine so you get that nice cinnamon flavor without kind of the grittiness of using ground cinnamon. So I like to use the cinnamon stick. If you don't want cinnamon flavored applesauce, you don't have to add the cinnamon stick. So the first thing we need to do is peel and chop our apples. Now, I like to use a knife when I peel. Not everybody does. A lot of people like to use peelers. That's perfectly fine. I'm just not a peeler girl. And we need a really coarse chop on our apples. So I'm just going to use my knife to kind of cut around the core. And that's how I'm going to core my apples today. If you want to use a fancy apple corer, that's fine. I have a problem when I use one of these. I stick it in, I try to get the core out, and it never comes out. I'm not going to use this, especially today. If I needed nice pretty wedges, I might use it, but I'm not going to bother today. So first thing we need to do is peel and core our apples. Okay, now that everything's peeled and chopped, we're going to load stuff into the slow cooker. So the first thing we're going to add are our apples. And again, remember, this is about 3 or 4 pounds of apples. Very coarsely chopped. You don't have to worry about getting the pieces all the same size. It'll be fine. This is a very forgiving recipe. And if you wanted to ever add other fruits in here, you could add some mango, make a mango applesauce. You could add some strawberries and a little vanilla, make strawberry vanilla applesauce. So you can be creative and do some different things. So all the apples are in. Now I'm going to squeeze in a little fresh lemon juice. We need just about a tablespoon, so it's a quarter to a half of a lemon. So I'm just going to squeeze it in with my hands here after I get the seeds out. So we're just going to squeeze our lemon right in there. And that's just to kind of brighten things up a little bit, give us a little acidity. Now our quarter cup of water goes in. And if you wanted to use some unsweetened apple juice in there, that would be okay too, but water works just fine. And now I'm going to take my cinnamon stick. Now don't put your cinnamon stick on the top. kind of bury it underneath your apples. I think you'll get much better flavor that way, and your cinnamon stick won't kind of dry out and not do its job. So kind of stick it down in the middle of your apples and cover it up. That usually works best. So we're going to cover this up, and we're going to cook it on low for 4 to 5 hours. Hi there, it's been just about 5 hours, so it's time to turn off the slow cooker and take a look and see what we've got. So you can see the apples have dried out a little bit. They've shrunk down a little bit. The first thing we need to do is to get rid of that cinnamon stick, so you certainly don't want to mash that up into your applesauce. So here it is peeking out right here. I'm just going to get that out of there, because it's already done its job. And now you have a couple of choices when it comes to how you want to mash your applesauce. You can use a good old potato masher. That works great, and that works best for kind of a chunkier style applesauce. If you want your applesauce a little more smooth, more like your puree, you can use an immersion blender. But today I kind of want to go the chunky route, so I'm going to use the potato masher. So here we go. This is all there is to it. You just your apples are so soft at this point. You just mash them until your applesauce gets to the texture you like. And now keep in mind, as this cools, the applesauce will thicken up a little bit. So don't worry if it looks a little soupy at this stage. Now let's talk about how to serve the applesauce. One thing I like to do is put it on top of some Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. And so yogurt, applesauce, and then sprinkle a few slivered almonds on top. It makes a great snack or a dessert. You can serve it with pork tenderloin. Pork and apples are kind of one of those marriages made in heaven, so that works really well. I particularly like to have the applesauce with grilled fish, grilled tuna especially. And also my husband and I have some cottage cheese pancakes that we make, and the applesauce makes a great topping for that, so you don't need anything sweet like maple syrup or anything like that. So those are some ways that I like to eat the applesauce. Now keep in mind, you can also make applesauce. If you don't have a slow cooker, you can make applesauce in your electric pressure cooker, your Instant Pot, or you can make it on the stovetop. So, thanks for watching, and now go out and make some applesauce. You can find a complete recipe for strawberry vanilla applesauce in Diabetes Slow Cooker Cookbook. You can find a complete recipe for spiced pear applesauce in the Diabetes Cookbook for electric pressure cookers.